This is a podcast from the Angel News Network with author Joel Anastasi interviewing the Christ consciousness speaking through Mother Mary as channeled by Phillip Elton Collins.
Greetings, beloved sons and daughters of Mother Earth. We are the Christ consciousness coming through the Mother Mary energy at this time of your Valentine. Dear children, love is one of the most used words and supposedly experienced emotions in human existence. Do you really know or understand what love is? Do you know the true purpose of love? What is the understanding of love beyond what you think, you feel, or have experienced? Through the connection of we and those of the others in the higher realms beyond humanity, let us see if we can gain some new insight and some new truth about this thing called love. The energy vibration that is love is the manifesting power within creation, the building block, the power behind and within all there is, dear children. It is almost impossible for the human mind to comprehend this thing called love, or to know exactly what it means. The human experience of love is a mere reflection and shadow of the true essence of love. The mystery of love is an essential part of its power and glory, dear children. True love is the attraction of the manifestation of the eternal divine wisdom and God power of creation and source, or whatever you choose to call the most loving and powerful force in the universes, in the many universes, dear children. Since you're all unique, perhaps our definition and experience, the most extraordinary force in the universe is meant to be unique for each one of you. True love always understands, yet not necessarily is always understood, nor needs to be. But let's see what we can piece together about love, dear children. The ascended masters who were once children, and we who walked upon your earth and experienced love in a similar fashion as you human mortals may give at this time, seek some clues. The law of oneness and unity seems to be an offspring of love. Love one another as you love yourself is the blueprint of knowing who you are and why you are here. You appear to learn what is or what is not most often, dear children. The separation of alpha and omega, light and dark, masculine and feminine, right and wrong, can only become one whole and healed by healing your illusions through love of self and others. You've heard this many times, haven't you, dear children? Love is composed of itself, wisdom, and power in order to create the oneness, but its wholeness can never be divided by its parts. For the definition of unity is, we are one. Humanity has chosen to experience the separation of oneness and divide them, but there has never been truth. This has never been the truth. It's not quite so simple to choose to learn through what is and what is not, is it, dear children? The separating is now coming back together in oneness. Duality is the process of ending. And the energies coming into your earth plane at this time and staying or assisting within process like never before, dear children, in spite of what you may be experiencing in your outside world. Love is accepting through understanding, compassion that allows forgiveness, which frees the one forgiving. You need forgiveness, dear children, since humanity has the capacity to be other than love often. This capacity is the reason for humans' life drama. The divine can never be so, dear children. Divine love, unlike human love, is not giving to get, but simply giving with no expectation. The substance of divine love is the power within creation, as well as the substance of such creation. Without faith and trust and love, and knowing that it actually exists, it's almost impossible for you to know that it exists. At present, human love is an aspect of a divine love, not the whole yet, but you're working on it, aren't you, dear children? The quest for the true meaning of love is often found within so-called metaphysicians and spiritual seekers. They hunger for mastery of self and the universe while not satisfying the grand requirement to honor before all else a meaningful and committed love towards the creation, what you call God, that created you and your others and yourselves. Selfish love is not self-love, dear children. True self-love is the foundation of all other relationships. You cannot love one another without loving yourself first. You've heard that so many times. This has kept humanity in separation and duality and has been the downfall of most of your past golden ages. The applied requirement is the pathway to the final golden age. True love is the God power of the universe. There are many types of feelings and emotions which you call love, dear children, but in truth they are not. Love is neither an emotion nor a feeling, but an action of God power manifesting. Love is penetrating and forever expansive and growing and enabling and transforming and transmuting. Love is all the beingness of creation and what you call God, combined with the many mysteries that humanity is not ready to fully understand nor receive. Love is the ingrained ingredient of life, dear children. Love is the ingrained ingredient of love and life. True love is changeless and always. It is the one element in the universe into which all others meet. Love is the highest expression of you in creation and beyond time and distance. True love is a natural expression of you in creation, while most human love is an aspect of truth aspiring to be true. True love is filled with an attitude of gratitude that becomes a magnet for love, radiating out all around you. True love is creation of power, is God power, beating your heart and being manifestation at the same time. There is no limit to the magnitude of true love, and soon you will use it, believe it or not, to discover new ways of being love in your world. Let's now give you some ways to love more, dear children. Allow others to be heard. Listen without thinking what you're going to say next. Speak without judgment, shaming, or blaming. Give without the need to get, dear children. Consider connecting to the higher realms. Respond without reacting. Balance giving and receiving in your lives. Focus on the sheer holistic joy of life. Trust and surrender to not knowing. For some things you are not able to accept yet or to know yet. Accept with compassion, thus forgive yourself and others. Remember most of all, dear children, your divinity. Let love clear out all fear, hatred, and separation in your world, as your world is in chaos and separation. We want you to know, dear one, that the divine soul you call Jesus, my son, never intended a religion, but a practice of love. Many calling themselves Christian or Christ-like, or practicing separation and hatred. you choose, independent of any man-made religion, what you choose to be. How may your mother assist you further this time, dear one?
Well, good morning. Thank you for those beautiful words.
You're welcome.
There was a song many years ago. The words were something like, "What the world needs now is love, sweet love." And it seems to be so appropriate right now. Those words are beautiful. The philosophy was beautiful. The definitions were beautiful. The exact examples of what we can do to demonstrate love were beautiful. We seem to be in a time right now where separation is beginning to be strong again. And in America, our democracy seems to be bludgeoned, and there's a lot of fear in the land about the separation and the hostility and the anger and the hate. And although love would be a wonderful thing to be able to exercise now, a lot of us are afraid that we're watching our world collapse around us. So how would you respond to that, and what counsel would you give?
The only way those who think they are in power, through their woundings and their defenses around their woundings, which so many of you have learned, is through the absence of love, they control. For where there is love, there is no need to control. So the most important thing for those who choose it in their free choice and will is to now place your hand upon your heart, dear one, your thinking heart. And for all those who are hearing this, do the same. Place your hand upon your knowing, unconditionally loving heart. For it is the love of the universe that keeps that heart beating, in combination with the electromagnetic frequency of the interior of the planet you are residing upon at this time. And as you place your hand upon your heart, it can only advise you, through all the lessons it has learned through all your past lives, which have been many, how to go forward in love, by being love. There is a reason that love is the building block of all that there is, of all of creation. When creation decided, what would that building block be? And the consensus was, and is, love, the most powerful, healing, forgiving, being force in creation. Does that help you, dear child?
Yes, it does. When I was working with Archangel Gabriel, he gave a definition that helped me understand what a powerful force love really is, because many of us, when we think of love, even though you've defined it in a much fuller way, many of us, when we think of love, we think of it as a strong feeling of affection for someone or something. And Gabriel defined it as the full expression of all our gifts and talents and personal qualities of who we are. And when I thought of it in those terms, I could really see what a building block it could be.
And where initially does all that come from? Before you got or received the talents and gifts, dear child.
It came from love of the Creator.
Go ahead.
My take on it would be it came from the love of the Creator.
Exactly. So the question to ask, as we say, the gifts and talents or expression, take it one step further if you so choose, and say, where did that come from? And where did that come from? And every path you take will lead you back to the original force, to those entities, and it is plural, those entities that created all there is, chose to use that power, that force. So all that you see being killing, separating, chaotic, confusing, the one thing they all have in common is what?
Love.
Exactly. Exactly. So it has to become more than just a lyric in a song or a feeling that you're having in being human. And that is the teaching I, Mother Mary, is giving to humanity at this time. That reminder, that core element of how it all began, why it all began, and how it integrates into you being human at this time. It is you being the creator, creating. It is you being an expression of God experiencing itself through something called love. For every time you are experiencing truly your divine self, you are experiencing the essence of the original love itself. Does that make sense, dear children?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Mother, you made some reference as you were talking with us, referring to the high vibration energies coming into the earth plane. Would you just discuss that a little bit with us?
Those are the echoes. Those are the reverberations of that original love that are now gathering once again en masse and infiltrating the earth plane. And as you've heard before, it's not coming in and going out. It's coming in to stay. And you might ask yourself, why is it staying at this time? Well, dear children, simply look at your world now. That's the reason that it's staying. It's implanting in the surface of the planet, thus into you, into the core of the planet, and echoing back out from that core into you again. And that process will now be eternal.
I'm assuming that that's going to help us address the forces of separation that seem to be welling up in a tidal wave right now.
There are more of you who aren't separated than you might think, dear children. Remember, there are many children coming into the earth plane, some of them using this energetic force field as a pathway to incarnate into the planet, who are fully equipped to assist within the evolution and the ascension of humanity. Remember that.
Yeah, I can understand that. Excuse me for coming from my human self, but that's a force that can begin to express itself in maybe 20 years. We're dealing with something right now. So how would you counsel us about how we're dealing with what we're confronting with right now?
By going into it and fighting it, you are fueling it. Can you see that?
Yes, expand on that a little bit for our listeners.
So if you so choose, don't do that. Create a parallel path of positive evolutionary forces beside what is happening now. Do not intersect within it and go forward from it. For to intersect with it, to fight it, is to fuel it. Can you understand that?
So I think you're telling us to come together in a way that expresses peace, love, equality, harmony, and balance and oneness.
In collective consciousness communities, yes.
Yeah.
Let them be in their fray. Let them be in their separation. Let them be in their killing. Let them be in their deceit. Let them be in their lies. Simply move a parallel path forward, fueled by this cosmic love. You understand?
I do. And coming back.
And you've heard this teaching before about creating a parallel path, haven't you?
Yes, many times.
Right now, with the current events, with the activities taking globally on this planet, not just in the United States of America, but all over the planet, perhaps this teaching of a parallel path fueled by this cosmic eternal love is the answer. Just perhaps so. And remember, there are advanced civilizations in the core of the Earth and other planets, even in your neighbors within your solar system. They're waiting for this consciousness, they're waiting for this parallel path to precede the conflict and separation and duality. And at that time, when they know your consciousness is raised enough to receive them, they will make themselves known. And what type of game changer will that be? When those who think they're in power and those who want to be in power realize there is a more advanced, powerful life form in creation that can be powered by love. Just imagine it.
To me, that would be the ultimate game changer.
Would it not? That's another reason to create this parallel path, is to attract these positive, loving entities. Yes, there are negative, benign forces in the universe. There are. Because there is dark and light, right and wrong, problem and solution. The nature of the frequency you're in is based upon duality. What love can be and do is break that duality. Can you see that?
That's the answer.
Bingo. That's the answer. So here's the question. Is humanity ready to apply the answer to the solution?
That is the question.
There it is. There's the choice. So as you create this parallel path, you're employing that wisdom, that love wisdom, that knowing heart, unconditional heart energy wisdom in the way you choose to lead your life. And let the others be where they are.
Of course, that's the one thing we can control, how we lead our lives.
The only thing you can control, dear children, is yourselves. Do you think you're going to change the mindset or the awareness of those who are where they are? You will only change yourself through this parallel path going forward, and then you will begin to connect with the collective consciousness communities of like-minded, like-spirited people. This message, this teaching, as you listen to these words again, are really to remind people of what love is when they thought they already knew. That's the power of this message. And it comes from your mother, your eternal mother, from the frequency of the feminine, receptive, unconditionally loving energy to your children of this world. Hear my heart. Hear my love. Feel my love. Know my love. Become my love. You all came from me. Every mother that gave birth came from me. Even long before you even knew the name Mother Mary, that force, that feminine goddess energy was always present because it was implanted and seeded in your world millions of years ago from the many star systems that seeded your planet. Now it is time, if you so choose, to become that love.
Thank you, Mother, for that beautiful, powerful message of love.
You're welcome, George.